off my mask. I forgot I had that on, but it's a good thing to use a mask to stay safe, right? So today we're going to be painting with purple. And last week we mixed the purple. We used some blue and some red to get our purple. And I thought it would be fun to paint with our purple paint. But before we start painting, I want to talk a little bit about what we should paint. You could turn anything purple when you're doing your artwork. You can make anything purple. You could paint a purple elephant or a purple squirrel, whatever you want, purple dinosaur. But today we're going to talk about still life. And I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that. It's an art word. And think of the game freeze. When you're playing a freeze game and you have music going and the music stops and you have to freeze. So a still life is about things that don't really move, like a vase of flowers. These aren't real flowers. This is just a little vase with purple pansies. And these are ones that I bought. And years ago, I made these with crepe paper with my students. And you can tell they're pretty old. But I wanted to keep them because I thought, I bet you I'll use them again. And sure enough, we're going to talk about purple pansies later. So a still life is a painting or a drawing of objects that don't move. I've got some grapes here, because a still life a lot of times is a bowl of fruit or, like I said, a vase of flowers. Now these red grapes aren't quite purple, but they're as close to purple as I could find. And this is going to be my snack after the class. So I've got the grapes, I've got my purple paint, and I made these little oval sponges. Because you notice the shape of these grapes, they're not round, they're oval, right? Like an egg shape. Some grapes are round, and I have this little plastic toy, the stacking toys that we used to use in the classroom. And I thought maybe we'll use this to stamp a picture. But to start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, get my, now this is a light purple. A lot of people would call this color lavender or lilac, and those are flowers too. But I'm going to use this, and I'm going to do a little painting of a pansy later. But for now, let's work with grapes. Got these sponges, I'm going to put it in the paint, and there's a lot of paint on there, so I'm going to take the excess off, and I'm going to just, and you know, some of these grapes overlap. When you look at a bunch of grapes, do you see all of them completely? No, because they're a cluster of grapes, right? So they overlap, and overlapping is another art word. So I'm getting a big cluster of grapes here. Like that. Oops. Oh, that one fell in there, so I'm going to leave it. Oh, this is making me want to eat the grapes that I have for my snack. Okay, so there you go, just with an oval sponge. I'm going to put this in here. I have a cluster of grapes. But I think they should have a stem. And because we're talking about purple, I'm going to draw a purple stem, just for the fun of it, with my marker. And then I could call that complete. But I want to also add a bowl. And I want to show you how I could make a bowl very easily. I've got this plastic bowl that's round. I turn it upside down and I trace around the edge. I hold the bowl down with one hand and I have to kind of twist to get all the way around. All right, so I've got that. I'm going to use my scissors, thumb on top, big fingers on the bottom in the big hole. And you can, if you don't cut right on the line, it's okay. You're just practicing your cutting. Closing and opening your hand, closing, opening, and you want to keep moving along the paper. You have to actually move the paper too. Okay, scissors off to the side. But this doesn't quite, it's a circle, but I want it to look more like a bowl. So I'm going to cut my circle in half. Just like that. And I'm also going to cut around my grapes. Not too close because my paint is still very wet, but I'm trying to do this quickly so that you can see the finished artwork. So there, see, I can put, oh, the bowl looks a little small, but you get the idea. So if you want, you can put it on a larger piece of paper later. Oh, maybe it looks better like that. You decide. But now you know how to make a bowl by cutting a circle in half, and you can make grapes with a sponge, okay? And now let's think about painting a pansy. I want to look at the shapes. They've got, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals. I like that picture, but look at what I found. This was made in the 4-year-old classroom, and it is a pansy made out of tissue paper. Now that's something you might want to do at home too. I like that a lot, and I was so glad that I saw it. But today we're going to paint a pansy, and I said we had 5 petals. I'm dipping my brush in the water first, then I'm going to dip in the paint. And those petals are kind of like oval shapes. So I'm going to come around and I'm going to do 5 petals. And I'm just doing circular motions. One of the petals is in the background, so I don't see the whole thing. Remember, we're talking a little bit about overlapping. Okay, so I'm thinking that looks pretty good. Even though the stems are usually green, I'm going to give it a purple stem today. So I like that. Now I want to do something special. I'm going to make a frame. I'm going to make a frame for my artwork. And this piece of paper is the same size as this one. Okay, see, same size. And to make a picture frame, all I do is fold this paper in half, and I carefully have the corners meet, and then I give myself a guideline or some lines where I cut. And I want to make sure that I'm careful with the scissors. So I go like this, and oh, I come to the end. Do I want to go like that? Oh, it's too hard. I turn the paper, and then I cut. That makes it easier. Oh, I came to another corner, turn the paper, and cut. And this inside that you use, you could use this to make a card or do another drawing or another painting. But now I have a frame for my art, and it was so simple, right? And it sets it off really nice. I didn't bring my glue stick, but if I wanted to, I could glue this all around the edge, and then it would be secure, and then I could put it on the refrigerator or hang it in my bedroom or give it to a friend. We want to share our art all the time, okay? Because it makes people happy if you give them artwork. I know it makes me happy. And next week we're going to also paint again. And next week we're going to paint with all the colors that we've mixed, orange, green, and purple, and we'll work with the primary colors too, red, yellow, and blue, but we're also going to work with white and black. and we're going to see how white and black can change all of the colors. I think it's kind of magical, and I hope you'll watch us next week. Until then, I want to say I love you and I miss you so much. We wish you were here at Grace Lutheran, but we can't be together, so until we are, just know that I miss you and love you. Have a great day.